Hello, my dear student. Welcome to this channel, BDS English Journey. This is Vasudev Saha, an assistant professor of English. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about the division of English literature into 7 periods. First of all, Anglo-Saxon period, which we also call Old English period, 450 to 1066. 450 to 1066. Then Middle English period 1066 to 1500. Then third number is Renaissance. In Bengali we call Renaissance means Nobo Jagoron, that rebirth of thinking, new light, new awakening. Okay, 1500 to 1660. And we divide Renaissance into 4 period, that is the most important period, Elizabethan period 1558 to 1603. Elizabethan period, what we should say is it is the golden age in the national as well as literary history of England. It was the age of Renaissance and of unprecedented glory in all fields of national life and literary achievement. Then we come to Jacobean period. Why it is called Jacobean period? Because James I reigned in this period, 1603 to 1625. Then Caroline Age or Caroline period. Why we call it Caroline period? Because Charles I in Latin, the word Charles comes from the Latin word Carolus, so it is called Caroline period. You can call it, it was the period of civil war, which led to the murder of Charles I and establishment of Commonwealth under Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell দ্বারা কমনওয়েলথ যেটা পার্লামেন্টের শাসন শুরু হয়ে গেল। Then Commonwealth period 1649 to 1660. Students, you have to remember this. During this period, there was no king, there was no queen on the throne of England. 1649 to 1660. Then another major division, which is Neoclassical period 1660 to 1798. And we divide Neoclassical period into 3 categories, that is Restoration period, when the king was again restored on the throne of England, that is Charles II, Charles II, 1660 to 1700. Then comes Augustan period, 1700 to 1745, 1745. Then the Age of Sensibility, 1745 to 1798. Why it is called the Age of Sensibility? The period between the death of Alexander Pope, I have not written here, the death of Alexander Pope in 1744 and the publication of lyrical ballads in 1798. This period is called the Age of Sensibility. This age was marked by new theories of literature, emergence of imagination and emotion in the place of intellect and reasoning. So it is called the Age of Sensibility. Then the most important period of English literature, that is Romantic period, 1798 to 1832. Why 1798 is very famous? Because in this year, lyrical ballads, it was a joint publication by William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge. It was published 1798 to 1832. It is called Romantic period. William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, P.B. Shelley, John Keats, Byron. Okay, then come Victorian period, 1832 to 1901. And the Victorian period is divided into 2 parts, that is Pre-Raphaelites, 1848 to 1860. Then Aestheticism and Decadence, 1860 to 1901. Then the last period, Modern period, which began in the year 1901, and we divide the modern period into three subgroup, that is Edwardian period. King Edward the Seventh, Edward the Seventh, he ruled England from 1901 to 1910. Then Georgian period, George the Fifth, 1910 to 1936, and postmodernism began in the year 1945 when the Second World War ended. Okay, at last but not the least, classical period. You have to remember this classical period 500 BC to 320 BC in Greece, and it is called classical period. And when it comes to Italy, 70 BC to 18 AD in Italy, it is called classical period. So students, you must learn it at the beginning of your journey of English literature, because without knowing or without proper knowledge of this chart, you cannot understand any period, any writer. So you have to remember it all the time. So thank you. Very soon we are meeting in the next video. See you soon. Thank you, my dear student.